Hi guys. Okay, so Mr. Olson's grandma passed away, and so I have to be gone today, but I thought we would still get our first math lesson. So I need you to have a blank piece of paper because you're going to staple it to your work, and then you're going to have your two workbook pages, 707 and 709, I think is the other one. Yep, so you need one blank piece of paper for the problem of the day, and your page 708 and 777, 707, and 709. All right, we're going to start with the problem of the day, and I'm going to see if I can't share my screen. Here we go. Oh, yeah, I can. Let's see. All right. Problem of the day. Hey, I'm going to say Elena runs for 40 minutes every morning. How much time does she spend running in 1 week? So this seems to be the easiest problem of the day that we've ever had. I would appreciate, though, if you could draw me something or show me something with your math that would prove to me that you understand how to solve this problem. Even a picture would help me. So I'm just going to move on. You can pause your video and work this out on your blank piece of paper, and then keep going when you're ready. Okay, I'm going to go to the next problem. All right, you guys, this is draw it. And this one goes, we don't have anything else to write on our problem of the day except for that one problem. So you guys can just staple your problem of the day to this packet when you're finished, okay? Keep all 3 pages. So Leila threw 16 pitches in the first inning of softball game. Of the pitches, she threw 3/4 of them that were strikes. How many strikes did she throw in the first inning? So find 3/4 of 16. So what we need to do is we need to equally divide 16 into 4 equal groups. So if I divide 16 by 4, I know that I have 4 pitches in each equal group. And then we can find how many are in 3 of those groups. So since the denominator is 4, the bar diagram was divided into how many equal sections? I hope you said 4. Then each section of the bar represents how many pitches? Each section represents 4 pitches. We know this because 4 times 4 groups equals 16, and there were 16 pitches, correct? All right, so let's go on to the next one. Actually, we'll check and see if we got it right. We did, 4 and 4. All right, so then we need to use the diagram to determine what 3/4 of it is going to be. So if we know, we can use addition, right? And we know that 4 groups, 4 in each group, 3 times is going to give us 12. So 12 goes on that 4 plus 4 plus 4. And so 3/4 of 16 is how much? 12, right? So Leila threw 12 strikes. This seems pretty simple. Okay, so now they've got us a bar diagram or a tape diagram. I call it a bar diagram. In the past, you guys have used tape diagram as the vocabulary, but either one, it's the same thing. So find 1/3 of 15 using a bar diagram. So to make sure that I know that you are paying attention to me, I'm going to have you guys do a couple of things as you're watching this video so I can know that you just didn't go through it and finish it. So just do the work by yourself. That you actually listened along, paid attention. So over where it says helpful hint, you guys see right here, it says the word of means to multiply. Do you see how they use the word of right here? 1/3 of 15. 1/3 of 15. I need you to take out a colored pencil, a highlighter, and I want you to highlight the word of so that I know that you were paying attention. Take a second and just highlight it. So we need to label the bar diagram that represents 15. So we said that there's 15 in all. So on this top little box right here, I need you to fill in 15 because we know that the whole thing is going to be worth 15. And then we have to divide that equally into 3 groups. So we have to figure out how much 15 divided by 3 is going to be. And since I'm pretty good with my multiplication tables, I know that it's going to be 5 plus 5 plus 5. 5 3 times gives me 15. So I need you to write a 5 in each one of these boxes. Then we have to figure out, let's read the number 2. Since the denominator is 3, the bar diagram was divided into how many equal sections? 3 equal sections. Each section of the bar represents what? Let's see if you got it right. 5, right? Didn't we say that 5 plus 5 plus 5 was 15? Yeah. Excellent job. All right, now we're going to try it by yourselves. They're not going to draw our bar diagram. You guys are going to have to draw it. It says find 1/3 of 15 using a bar diagram. So do you have to draw a bar diagram? Yeah, you do, because it says using a bar diagram. So please draw a bar diagram. Use the diagram to determine 1/3 of 15. 1/3 of 15 is the same as saying 15 divided into 3 sections, which is the same as 1/3 times 15. What is 1/3 of 15? So I'm just going to check and make sure really quick that they haven't drawn it for you. I don't think that they did. Okay, this was our one before. Oh, it's about the same problem. So you don't actually have to draw the bar diagram. It's talking about the problem before. So what is 1/3 of 15? We said it was 5 already. So 1/3 of 15 is equal to 5. Fill those in. Good job, you guys. All right, now here's where you're going to have to write me a couple sentences, maybe 1, maybe 2. The longer the better. Help me understand what you're thinking. Explain why 1/4 of 16 is the same as 16 divided by 4. I'm going to step away from my desk and I'm going to see if my smartboard will work. I want to draw this on the smartboard for you. All right, we're going to see if it works. All right. I drew you a quick little picture, and hopefully you guys can write this and explain it in words. In the blank space underneath your problem, write down these same problems. So remember when I told you we're multiplying fractions by a whole number? We need to change that fraction, that whole number, 16, into a fraction. So how do we do that? We put 1 as its denominator. And then we're going to multiply straight across. That's what I did these little arrows for you. So 1 times 16 is 16, and 4 times 1 is 4. You guys, can I write division like a fraction? Yeah, I can. Division and fractions are the same thing. So right here where it says 16 over 4, this is an improper fraction, which if I reduced it or simplified it, I would get it to equal 4. So when you say 1/4 of 16 equals 16 over 4, isn't 16 over 4 the same thing as saying 16 divided by 4? So you guys, I need you to explain this in words. You can actually draw out these problems also, but so that I know you understand that these two problems can be the same. 1/4 of 16 is saying the same thing as 16 divided by 4, right? We have 16 wholes, and I need 1/4 of them. That means I need to divide them into 4 groups, and 1/4 of them is going to be equal to 4. All right. You can pause if you need to. Oh no, gotta erase my ink. My face is over your ink. All right, so any of these could, look, they said draw a bar diagram, divide it into fourths, 1 of the fourths. Any of these answers would be appropriate. You could draw yourself a bar diagram. You can show the work the way that I did. Whatever you need to show me that you understand why those two problems are the same. All right, here's our next talk about it question. Explain why 3/4 of 16 is the same as saying 3 times 16 divided by 4. I want you guys to be able to write this. I'm going to go write up on my board one more time, and I will be right back. All right, I just solved these two problems and we came to equivalent answers, right? They had the same thing. As I started to solve the top problem, I realized it's exactly the same thing, right? We write 3/4 times 16, and then I change that into an improper fraction so that we can multiply those straight across. Did you see how I wrote of above multiplication? That's just because up in our problem up here, it says of instead of multiply. So you remember that of is the same thing as multiply. We multiplied straight across, and I got 48, and 4 times 1 is 4, and 48 divided by 4 is 12. But when I started to solve the bottom problem, I realized I was solving the exact same problem. I multiplied 3 by 16 first, which is what I did here, and I got 48. And then I had to do 48 divided by 4, which is the same thing as this up here, 48 divided by 4. And we have 12 and 12, which are equal. So are these two problems the same? Yes. So I'm going to clear my ink and let's see what the math book had to write. So it says, you can say, if 1/4 of 16 is the same as 16 divided by 4, then 3/4 is the same as saying 3 groups of 16 divided by 4. Since 3/4 is 3 times as large as 1/4. So they actually just talked about what their solution was for the first problem. If you wanted to solve it with the tape diagram, if you wanted to solve it using equations, if you wanted to solve it just like this, you could. But I need to know that you understand what we're doing on these problems. All right, this is the practice set. So it says draw a bar diagram. You guys are so lucky because they've already done a bar diagram for you, right? You just have to know how to finish it. So on number 3, it says 12 times 1/2 equals. So we needed to equally take 12 and divide it into 2 groups. You're going to put 6 and 6 in both of these boxes down here, and you're going to tell me what 1/2 of it is up here in this. Then on number 4, you're going to take and you are going to divide 15 into how many groups? 3. And we divide it equally into 3 groups. I know from a previous problem that when we divide it up into 3, we get 5, 5, and 5. But it doesn't want 1/3, it wants 2 of the thirds. So if it's 5 and 5, we need to put our answer as 10. All right, you guys, I'm going to look at our next problems, but I'm pretty sure that you are going to be ready to go on with these problems. The problem that you're going to have on these next set is that what do the instructions say? The instructions say draw a bar diagram to find each product. I need you to draw the bar diagram. If the instructions say it, then you need to be able to do it. And let's look at the rest of them. Pretty dang good. I think that you guys should be okay with all the rest of it. Let me stop sharing my screen. I'm back. All right. If you get finished with your math and there is still time before interventions, I need you to work on that. It's like stained glass, addition and subtraction of fractions, and work on that. We will do the judging. I will come back with the 3 prizes on Wednesday. So I need you to get it all finished and all turned in. They need to be in the basket with your name on it by the time I get back on Wednesday. So please work very hard. Do your best, do your very best work. If you get done with that, I need you to work on reflex. And if you are finished with that, then you need to just read. Please be respectful of other people in the class so that they can continue working and that the sub can help them. Guys, I am excited to see you on Wednesday, and I'm sorry I'm not here today, but thank you for taking care of everything.